Hey guys, you know how we do it. It's the boy Tan. Welcome back to another video. Today we're checking out Remireen approaching. What changed everything? Who knows? Let's find out. Yeah? Let's find out.
Women all over the world are dressing up, stepping out, giving green lights, and still going home alone. They're smiling, they're waiting, and nothing happens. They post about it, they make TikToks about it. Some even go viral saying, "Can we please bring back the men that are walking up to women?" But you know what most men say back? Nope, I'm good.
Okay, so not only do men not approach women in clubs in New York, but they don't even acknowledge you.
First of all, this is going to be my first hot take of this video. If you're looking for something serious, yeah, club is not the place you would want men to approach you. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if you were looking for something, if you're looking to have fun, okay, all right, then we can proceed with the video. If you're looking for something serious and you're at the club and a dude approaches you from the, that's not to say it couldn't be serious from the club. It's just statistically, right? That's not the place you want to put your interest in. That's not the places you want to be at for men to approach you.
When you come and sit on the same table as them.
So, what happened? Why did men stop approaching women? It wasn't overnight. Something deeper shifted socially, emotionally, and even psychologically. And what you're about to hear might just make you feel a little more understood than you've had in a long time. This isn't just a dating trend, this is happening everywhere. From clubs in New York to gyms in LA, from college to coffee shops, you name it. There's a noticeable silence. And if you think women aren't noticing it, they are. You can scroll through any social platforms and find posts like, "I was dressed up, I smiled at a guy," and nothing. "We made eye contact 3 times, he never came over." Where did all the confident men go? But here's the twist, they're still here. They're just quiet now. Because for a growing number of men, it's not about shyness. It's not about fear. It's about self preservation. It's about looking at the rules of the game and realizing the game doesn't serve them anymore. And once you understand what happens in gyms and clubs, you'll realize the silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. Let's talk about one of the most important.
Honestly, apart from the fact that some men are truly just not confident in themselves because, society has made men feel like if you don't have money, if you're not popping, you don't have a woman's time and attention. And while that is wrong, some men have internalized that feeling, that ideology, and ultimately they have internalized that shame because they feel like, oh, they are not the ideal man for any woman. So it's like they don't even bother trying because they feel like it's going to be a rejection. They have predicted the outcome, and the outcome is always rejection simply because they don't have 6 figures in the bank, they're not 6 feet tall, they're not doing all these other things that women online are claiming they want. But that's the problem. Social media is a freaking lie. It's a trend based, herd based mentality that is moving online. People in the real world still exist. People who actually don't care about any of these things and are just looking for genuine connections. But when you take off that thing in your head that, okay, this is what people are saying online, that's how everybody feels, you're doing yourself a disservice because social media is just some of the people who are even echoing that sentiment, they don't really believe in it. They're just joining the trend. They just want to pop off saying what everybody else is saying, because you forget most people online are looking for attention. You feel me? They are looking for everybody's looking for attention as a creator in the online space. Even I am. But some people are doing it the wrong way. They're doing any means to get your attention. And so they see whatever they want to say. Just because if it's a hot take, it's gonna get you watching and they're gonna get paid. Blah 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 blah.
Battlegrounds in this debate: the gym. For years, women online have said, "Stop looking at me. Don't bother me when I'm working out." Creeps at the gym need to be exposed, they say. And guess what? Men listen. So now, men keep their distance. They avoid eye contact. Some even change gyms altogether just to avoid the risk of being filmed, shamed, or even misunderstood. And here's the irony: that same gym is now filled with women asking, why won't anyone approach me? Where are all the confident men? What happened to real masculinity? You want the truth? It got pushed out. It was called creepy, it was called aggressive, and it was called doing too much.
That's not to say there are not actual creeps in the world, but if a dude approaches you on some respectful shit because he saw you in the gym, you're looking nice, people start thinking, why is he approaching her just because he saw her? But if he didn't see her, how would he know she existed? He saw you, you look nice, you're looking nice in your gym outfits, and some of these ladies know what they're doing when they wear these outfits to the gym. But let's not pretend like you guys don't know what you're doing. And then he comes and he's like, hey, he's trying to chat you up. If you're not interested, just say so. But like when you start making them feel like they are creeps, when you start making them feel ashamed of themselves for even stepping up, then that's a problem. That I'm not saying we're not saying accept men once they approach. It's like you can be respectful about it, like, hey, thank you so much for the compliment, blah blah blah. But I'm not really looking for that. That man is probably, yeah, okay, fine. But the way you spoke to him, the way you related with him, he's not going to even feel bad. In fact, he might even appreciate you just for the way you responded. And he's like, all right, bet, no problem. That's for a dude with a working head. It's like, okay, that's dope. Nice talking to you regardless. And then the cycle keeps going. But when you start to treat men who swallow the courage to even step up, because it's a lot. It takes a lot for a man to actually walk up to you if you don't realize that. When they actually swallow that pill and like, okay, I want to talk to this babe, and then you treat them anyhow, chances are they're not going to want to do that again. Like, they're going to think twice as hard if they even decide to approach a woman again. And then when you do this enough times, men are just like, all right, what's even the point? Is this even worth it? And that's where we found ourselves now.
And after enough times of being shut down, mocked, or mischaracterized, men just left the conversation. They didn't argue. They just stopped. They stopped approaching. They stopped risking it. They stopped trying, because what used to be charming is now problematic. And when even a polite hello can turn into a viral takedown video, why even try? Now, let's talk about the clubs. Back in the day, clubs were the hunting ground, the energy, the chase, the fun. But go out now, you'll find more people staring at their phones than dancing.
Okay, people just stand around and press their phones, and women dance with themselves, and they go twerking on each other as if each party doesn't know they're doing this with the other party, but everybody's pretending like, yeah, this is what I came to the club to do. Well, if you came to the club to dance with your friend, you could have put on a JBL at home and did that. Then why the hell did you come out? Weren't you supposed? Wasn't the whole point of going out, having fun and meeting people? Like, you go there and then you stick to yourself and then you go back home. Because what? You created an atmosphere it's not comfortable anymore, man. It's not comfortable at all. That's not to say men don't have a part in playing with this, because some men are just creeps, but you generalized it too much. You did it too much, and then man, it's funny. It's funny. I'm not even a club type of person, so I don't really be there unless I'm going out with like my friends who are club goers. But on my own, I'm not the type to stand up and go to the club. So, but the few times I've been there, I'm like, damn, this is a very depressing place because there are guys to this side, there are girls to this side, and everybody's just there. It's like, yeah. Then we do the little dance in place by ourselves, and then we call it a night. That's crazy.
VIP tables full of bored faces. Guys standing around just sipping their drinks like they were a security guy. Why? Because clubs flip the script. Women now get in free. Men pay to enter, pay to sit, pay to drink, pay to exist. And when they finally get the courage to talk to someone, you don't touch me.
I don't like writing essays, but here are my marks for them. So bestie, I'm going to tell it to you
Oh, you're not my type. Why are you talking to me? It's not a party anymore. It's a trap. Men are realizing that they're just paying to be ignored. So they stay home. They work out. They invest. They level up in silence because that's where they're valued. That's where they feel safe. But let me ask you something. What happens when women miss the attention they used to swat away? That's where we're heading next. Number 3, the attention drought. So now
You guys are going to get to a point where women start approaching men. That would be the ultimate gender wrap, wouldn't it? I mean, we're already at a place where people are deciding what genders they want to be, you know. So at this point, might as well switch responsibilities too. Let men be the divas. Let's just go around chilling and let women have to. I kid. It's a sad place we're headed towards, but it will be funny if that's where we eventually end up. Because the way the world is going right now, bro, nobody really even knows what's happening next, for real. AI is about to kill us all. You know, a comet is headed towards the Earth. So much shit is going on, bro.
here we are, the gyms are quiet, the bars are empty, they're dry, and suddenly women are starting to notice. They're posting TikToks like, nobody flirts anymore. Men don't say hi in public anymore. I can walk down the street in full glam and nothing. And this is where it gets interesting because not that long ago, those same women were annoyed. When a man complimented them at the gas station, when a stranger said they looked beautiful, when a guy politely tried to strike up a conversation, it was, why are you bothering me? I didn't ask for attention. Ugh, men are so thirsty. But now that it's gone, that attention feels different. It's not annoying anymore. It's not creepy. It's not a problem. It's missed because deep down, even when a woman isn't interested in a guy talking to her, she still wants to be wanted. And when that spotlight disappears, it hits different. That dopamine hits from being noticed. That tiny confident boost from a stranger smiles. That little ego lifted from knowing you still got it. Yeah, that silence gets real loud. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about male validation. It's not about making women feel dependent or needy. It's about the natural dynamic between masculine and feminine energy. Masculine energy pursues, feminine energy attracts.
Yeah, that's about to get flipped. Yo. I think you know the problem. Love. And I made a video on my reflective channel about this. You go check it out. Link is in my bio if you enjoy this type of things. And I was talking about how the fact that all these content creators, these niches where they tell you, oh, 5 things to do to attract a woman, 5 things to do when she says this, these things to do to avoid this, then they do what a woman tries to do to make you jealous. This is how you should react. It's made the relationship game robotic. It's made it rule dependent. It's like guys are now just walking around with like rules, like programming firing off in their brains like neurons, how to act, how to do. So a lot of people they don't even know what to do anymore. They don't know how to act. Because before, where it was just a natural inclination, like, hey, step up, say hi. What's up? Let your personality carry you. Let your vibe carry you. Let's see where the energy goes. Now it's like, okay, approach her, say this, do this, look mysterious, this, that, the other, And it's like, it's so much work, so much mental taxation now for no reason because all these things are telling you it's like fear-based content. It's like for fear of rejection, for fear of losing out, for fear of be this kind of person. And it doesn't work. I mean, some advice is good, but it doesn't work in its entirety because we forget one critical thing, that attraction is energy based. It's where the woman is at and where you're at the time. So your energy, her energy, if it aligns, green light. If it doesn't, peace. But now it's too much calculation that goes into something that was naturally given to us. Women were supposed to attract, men were supposed to come say, hey, and go on the chase. It was this whole thing. But now men have been made to believe, oh, women are using them, misusing them, and some women are. And so now they're not even inclined to go chasing because they feel like, oh, they're just being led on, they're blah, blah, blah. It's a lot, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. So, this in conjunction with when the few men who are even able to, regardless of everything going on, say hi, be able to walk up to a woman, and then they get treated like creeps and craps and shitted on and yelled at and just disrespected in public. Why wouldn't we get to this point? Why are you surprised that this is where we found ourselves now?
But if men are walking away, the balance disappears. And when the balance disappears, you get a generation of women who ask, where are the men who used to try? Where's the romance? Where's the spark? They're not gone. They're just done performing for an audience that boos them for showing up. And you know what's crazy? Some men do still want to approach, but the fear isn't rejection anymore. It's something much worse. We'll talk about it next. Number 4, it's not rejection they fear, it's damage. Let's be honest. Most men can handle rejection, but what they cannot handle anymore is the damage that comes with it. This isn't high school where you shoot your shot and move on. Now, one awkward approach can turn into a tweet. A private compliment can turn into a creep alert story time. And the same men who used to hear, oh, that's sweet, now hears, oh, that was harassment. Oh, I didn't ask for that. This guy gave me the ick. That word ick, it's everywhere now. It's not just I'm not interested. It's a label. It's public. It's shame. So ask yourself this. If a man sees you smile, he hesitates. Because in his head, he's not just thinking, will she like me? He's thinking, will she record me? Will she tell her friends? Will she make me a joke online? It's not just ego, it's dignity. And
Social media do be the problem for real, man. Because a lot of these things are also conditioning by social media people. Because these girls, these women, they watch, and they see these things, and then they take it on too, and then it's like bad behavior just spreads around the world globally through viral things. It just good, bad, nice, ugly. It just goes around the world, and people just say, think anything, believe anything, go with anything. And so we're just all constantly getting what our sense, our values, our ideologies, our perspective is just continually getting programmed and worked by whatever is going on the internet. And it's crazy. It really do be the phone, bro. It really do be the internet that's doing all these things for real. Because what do you mean he gave you the ick? He just came to say hello. I mean, if he was a creep, that's a different thing. But these days, I just go with the flow for real. Like, I'm not afraid to still walk up, but it really has to be in a situation where it makes sense. Like, I'm not just gonna see a girl somewhere and walk up to her because there's so much more involved now. But maybe, yeah, maybe we're in a place together and then she glances and she smiles. I'm like, okay, I'm more intent to, okay, hey, what's good? Because she already gave me that welcome sign, or she glances at me, she keeps, eye contact, blah, blah. All these signals, yeah. And then you decide, okay, you want to act on it or not. But to just walk up to a woman because you like her without any form of environmental awareness, you're opening yourself up for a lot of rubbish that some women get up to these days.
that's what men are protecting now, not their pride, their peace. And let's not forget the emotional cost. A man gets rejected once, fine. Twice, sure. But after 10, 20, 30 rejections, you don't get just numb. You start to believe, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not attractive. Maybe I was never supposed to win at this. So they stop trying, not because they're weak, but because they've learned to stop chasing things that punish effort. They're not scared, but they're tired. They're tired of being misunderstood, tired of being mocked, tired of being treated like their desire is dangerous. So what do? They focus inward, they build, they heal, they level up quietly, they pour into themselves because the return is actually worth it.
Which is great. That's a plus for men who eventually decide to turn inward, but they're turning inward now for the wrong reasons. Now they're turning inward out of avoidance, supposed to intentionally just wanting to build, you know? It's a very fragile balance to strike. It's a fragile balance to weigh. Like, okay, balance actually going after the things you want, the desires, like with women, and then building your life. So it's a some men just focus on building their life. They just go to the gym, they work out, they work on their businesses and whatever. But it's out of avoidance. It's because they literally cannot handle dealing with the female energy anymore. It's like it becomes toxic to them almost. It's like they're so afraid of what the female energy can do to their mind state that they just don't want to deal with it anymore. As opposed to dabbling and whatever, see what's out there, come back. The way I see it as a part of life. I see it as, I don't think about it as, oh, if you don't score, it took a lot of time and it's still a learning process. Like, if you don't score a woman or blah, you're not worthy of anything. It's like they're part of life. And the same thing for women. Like, we do need each other, but ultimately our lives are priority. We first, and then get to see what's around, what's in the market. Okay, you see this girl, go talk to her. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, all right, back to business. Like, it's like, I think we just need to be able to detach, men especially, be able to detach expectations, like remove expectations. Just curiosity. Say hi, was good. If she never responds, I heard a weird noise. If she never responds, if she airs you, blah, 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 that's information. That's about where she's at, not about you, not about your worth. You know? So it's like, there's a lot of things to deal with, man, for real. If you like more things like this, if you want to go deeper into these things, check out my other channel again, link in the bio. You might enjoy it.
But what if I told you some women still want men to approach, but certain ones? That's where things get real messy. We'll get into that next. Number 5, the selective approach trap. Let's talk about what women really mean when they say, I want men to approach me. Because the truth is, they don't mean all men. They mean the tall ones, the charming ones, the ones with the sharp jawline, clean sneakers, and the right energy. If you're not that guy, then suddenly, why did he even think that he had a chance? Did you see who tried to talk to me today? He was like 5'8". I just can't. Here's the kicker though.
And I really dislike this type of women who say these things is because you're the same women that turn around and say you get body shame. It's like you're saying men say if you yes, if you don't have this, you don't deserve love when they're teasing or whatever. But then you turn around and then you make fun of people who have no control about how they look. I mean, if you're fat, you can get slim, just go to the gym. If you're slim, you can get fat, eat more, right? But when it comes to the matters of height and looks, they didn't control that. They didn't choose how they turned out. They didn't choose the genes that they were born with. They were born just like you. And if you were lucky enough to hit the jackpot of beauty, or what is called beauty, conventional beauty, then you shouldn't, if they're not what you're looking for, just be respectful about it. You shouldn't go around shaming people who have no control, literally, about how they look. You think they chose to be 5'8"? You think they chose to be 4'7"? You think if everybody could choose how they turned out, you think we wouldn't all be 6 feet tall and have all the muscles and jaw lines, and all the women would have BBLs naturally? Like, don't you think that's something that would have happened? I find it upsetting, for a lack of better word.
The same man who gets labeled creepy by one woman could be called bold, sexy by another. Just because he fits her type. It's not about the approach. It's about the approacher. So men learned quickly. It's not safe to just try anymore. If I'm not her exact idea of perfect, I'm not just rejected. I'm embarrassed. And when rejection turns into humiliation, men shut down. Not because they're fragile, but because they've been taught effort without perfection is offensive. Think about that. Trying is offensive now. Let's go deeper. Women will
In this Domestico course, you will learn the essential techniques for sketching industrial product design using analog and digital.
YouTube is trying to test my patience to see if I'll get premium. I won't.
say, I want men to be confident. But when they get approached by someone who they don't want, it becomes, that was so awkward. Oh, he was too forward. Can you believe he thought I was into him? So what's the lesson? Only the right guy is allowed to approach. And how do you know if you're the right guy? You don't until it's too late. So again, men stop trying, not because they don't value women, but because they don't feel valued by women. Now, let's be fair. Some women are respectful, yes. They appreciate the gesture, even if they're not interested. But unfortunately, the internet has made the worst reaction the most viral. And that's the message men are absorbing. Say the wrong thing, get exposed. Look the wrong way, get labeled. Try at the wrong time and get embarrassed. It's not romance anymore, it's roulette. And men are betting on something else now, themselves. But there's one last layer to this. One reason men are walking away, even from women they want. And once I say it, you'll understand everything. Number 6, peace greater than pursuit. Let's bring this home. Here's the one reason so many men have stopped approaching women, even when the attraction is real. They're not chasing connection anymore. They're chasing peace. That's it. Not power, not control, not games, nothing, just peace. And for a lot of men, walking up to a woman, even if she's smiling, even if the vibe seems right, doesn't feel peaceful anymore. It feels like pressure. It feels like risk. It feels like stepping into a space where
Feels like pressure to perform. Something that was naturally supposed to be is now a risk. See? You see the problem? With me, personally, I just, honestly, I almost kind of like leave some of the autonomy in their hands. Like, okay, if truly you feel that way, make an effort. If I see you make an effort, I know, okay, it's safe to approach you because you want me to approach, as opposed to just going out on a limb, because that's where we found ourselves, honestly. So me, no matter how good you look, make an effort. If I find out, oh, she's coming around, oh, she's trying to enter a conversation that I'm part of, or, she's smiling, she's glancing, she's making it obvious, then if I'm interested, I'll go. But like just seeing someone and then going out, no. I'm not immune from the conditioning. I'm not immune from the effects that's going on around us. I'm not immune to it. I can't pretend I am. It's affected me in a certain way, and it's like, okay, this is the balance I've struck. If you find me attractive, if you're trying to know what I'm doing, and then I am also attracted, send the signals that you can. If I get them, then I'd approach. If I don't get them, hey, peace.
one wrong word can cost you your reputation, your confidence, or your whole night. Men are tired of rolling the dice on social energy that doesn't give back. They'd rather build a business than build false hope. Go to the gym than get ghosted. Read a book than read mixed signals. Work on their legacy than wonder what her maybe means. This isn't weakness. This is evolution. And the craziest part, men still want connection. They still want to protect. They still want to lead. They still want love, real, deep, grounded love, but not at the cost of their sanity, not at the cost of being treated like predators for offering a compliment, not at the cost of being mocked, recorded, or even ridiculed, or for being vulnerable enough to try. So they stop, not because they gave up, but because they just woke up. You want to know why men are not approaching women anymore? Because for the first time ever, they learned how to approach themselves. And that kind of peace, it's hard to walk away from. If you're a woman watching this, let this be a moment of understanding. not blame. Because a lot of the silence you feel is the silence you once asked for. And if you're a man watching this, I see you. I see the effort you used to give. I see the hesitation now. And I see the strength in how you chose peace over performance. But here's the good news. Connection isn't dead. It just needs clarity. If you're open to love, being open to giving signals that are clear, and if you're a man who's healed, built and found peace, don't close off your heart forever. Just protect it better this time.
I just think men need to be more selective. The problem is most men are attracted to a certain type of woman, and a certain type of woman is in by certain type of conditioning. And so they find themselves in this loop, this continuous problem, this continuous thing. I'm able to spot good energy, I think that's a gift. I'm able to know when a woman is either warm enough for me to try and approach or not, But yeah, I'll end this video here. I have a call. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Check out my other channel, link in the bio, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.